Village Railroad. Once again, for your personal safety, please remain seated while the train's in motion. Keep your head, arms, legs, and feet inside the cars at all times. Parents, if you're boarded with little ones, please place yourselves on the outside of the row. If that is not practical, make sure they are held or easily within your reach. There's also no eating, smoking, or drinking of beverages except for water while on the train. We'll say goodbye to Jeff here for getting us out on time. We now begin our journey to the front at Firestone Station. If you ever have a chance, stop by our Smith Street Train Depot, built in 1858 by Grand Trunk Railroad. It was the first stop on its way from Port Huron down to Detroit. It was in the countryside, so the station master and family were allowed to live at the depot and conduct railroad operations. It's in this area that Thomas Edison, with one of his chemistry experiments, caught the baggage car on fire. They were able to stop, put the fire out, but they threw Edison and the chemistry set off of the train. He was forbidden from ever working with Grand Trunk again and had to walk the 8.5 miles back to his home in Port Huron. We're now coming up to our Detroit-Toledo-Milwaukee Roundhouse. This was built in Marshall, Michigan in 1884 to service and maintain steam locomotives. We carry on that tradition today as a working roundhouse with the 3 coal-fired locomotives and diesel-electric that we operate here during the season. The roundhouse is now open every day for you to go inside and see what's going on. We're now approaching the Firestone Farm. This was home to Harvey Firestone, founder of the Firestone Rubber and Tire Company. If you ever have a chance, you can stop by the farmhouse, go inside, or into the barn on the lower level to see all the livestock we raise here on the farm. Check out our 2 dairy cattle. They are descendants of the original breed, first brought over by the early colonists to be used for milk and for food. You can also check out our merino sheep that we raise here. Now as we come into Firestone Station, I ask everybody to please look about you. Make sure you have all of your belongings as well as cell phones. And then if you would, remain seated until we come to a complete stop. Once the whistle sounds, it will be safe to exit on the right-hand side. Please wait for that whistle.
Yeah, we'll get off here.
It is now safe to exit on the right-hand side.
He wants to see what YouTube channel you are.
You guys all YouTube channel. I'll check that out. Hey, enjoy your day. Yep.
Were you sure you would get across there? Would be able to get across here?
He kind of like climbed over very quickly and without.
He did that in every single video too.
He just did it very
One time with Edison, because we were sitting back there, he had to go over here.
and did it very fast.
I know.
It's neat,
Yeah.
right?
Because he wanted to sit in the front row.
But it adds texture to the experience. Yeah, look at we're right by the entrance. We're seeing the line leader. Are they gonna? Yeah, close that. Okay. And there's the conductor. That's so cool. You okay, babe? Here. Take another bite before we start moving again. You want like
No.
we can go back to my house and take like sandwiches. We'll sit by the Let me call her. You better hurry up. Okay, both of you turn around and smile at me. Hey.
Hey.
So I'll have to swap them. Why did you do that? Why do I don't know. Mine are not good. Right? That one's blurry. It's cute though, like look at Russell's doing this. Yeah. Now where's Alex? Oh, there he is. Okay. So yeah, I just made it big. Yeah, it dropped it, didn't it? All right, let me try it. All right, one more time, you guys. Can you get closer together? Yeah, you gotta scoot. Okay. You fine again. Hey. Peace time. Love it. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Okay, so me to send it to you? For like the schedule? Yeah, like to get people aware of. Is that right? Okay, go ahead and put it in there. Look at him. You're so weird. Remember though, last time you did that a lot, and I say your nose hurt, I think she got like a sore from doing it too much. Don't do it. Don't do it. My information in your content. Yeah, and I have your photos, and I put my information in your contacts, and I have the ones I sent you.
Yeah, they came out, but it was within the pictures.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Greenfield Village Railroad. For your personal safety, please remain seated while the train is in motion. Keep your head, arms, legs, and feet inside the cars at all times. Parents, if you're boarded with little ones, please place yourselves on the outside of the row. If that is not practical, make sure they're held or easily within your reach. There's also no eating, smoking, or drinking of beverages except for water while on the train. We'll say goodbye to Annie and Chris. We now begin our journey of 2.5 miles around the village for the first stop in our portion of the Harvest District. Next station.
That's my dad, my stepmom, his grandparents.
The white farmhouse that we will be approaching was the birthplace of Henry Ford. He was born here in July of 1863, and the farm was located just outside of Detroit. If you ever have a chance, you can stop by the farmhouse, go inside, see what life was like for Henry growing up here as a young boy. Now, if you look to your left, just past the farmhouse, you can look down on our main street. Here you'll find the Ford Motor Company, Model Ts, Mary Cohen's Millbury, where ladies, you can go inside and try on the latest fashionable hats. The Heinz home, a 1913 Herschel's Filming Carousel, the only carousel ever built that had a frog as one of its riding figures. The Wright Cycle Shop, and the Wright Home. Thomas Edison's laboratory in New Jersey. He's credited with over 1,000 patents for this facility. If you ever have a chance, you can stop by, stroll around, and you can go inside. If you go upstairs, you can see 3 of his inventions that are on display. Now if you look to your left across the street, the yellow building is the Sarah Jordan boarding house. This is where all the single young men that worked for Edison would stay and live. It was one of the first buildings he had electrified. We're now coming up to the Equity Bridge, which is a purchase and parlors district. From Susquehanna Station, you can go up the hill into the Webster and Giddings home, or stroll down Maple Lane to see all the homes we have here in the village. You can even go into our Susquehanna plantation, which came from Tidewater, Maryland, originally comprised of over 700 acres, and in 1832 the principal crops were corn, wheat, and tobacco. You can even go to the end of Maple Lane to see our windmill and colonial Daggett farmhouse. Now as we come into Susquehanna Station, we can say hi to Ginger, station master here. And I ask everyone to please remain in your seats until we come to a complete stop. Once the whistle sounds, it will be safe to exit on the left-hand side. Please wait for that whistle. Ginger, I got 4 empty rows in the last car. It is now safe to exit on the left-hand side. We'll be here for 4 short minutes before continuing on our journey.
Do you have to resend something? Repost something? That's our dog. What's his name? Marshall. Marshall. She's a full lab. But you have water? No. She doesn't swim. She thinks it's a big bathtub. This was me and Russ when we were on vacation in Minnesota, Wisconsin. We just went on a walk together, and that was one of them. And it was Wisconsin or Minnesota when we were on vacation. We went on a walk. This was when Russell and I were here with his grandpa at the car fest. The old car fest. That's Russell's grandpa.
For those of you just joining us, welcome to the Greenfield Village Railroad. Once again, for your personal safety, please remain seated while the train's in motion. Keep your head, arms, legs, and feet inside the cars at all times. Parents, if you're boarding with little ones, please place yourselves on the outside of the row. If that is not practical, make sure they're held or easily within your reach. We'll say goodbye to Ginger here for getting us out on time. We now begin our journey around the village to the north side at Smith Creek. The red home that we will be approaching, not bigger than a one-car garage, was built in the 1700s for Mr. and Mrs. Plimpton and their 7 children. Back then it was easier to heat a one-room dwelling rather than multiple rooms. We're now coming up to our Cape Cod windmill. This was built in 1649 and is the last known original structure of its kind left in the United States. If you ever want to try colonial living, if you ever have the chance, stop by our Dagan farmhouse. It was built in 1754, predates the American Revolutionary War. You can go inside and they'll be happy to tell you what life was like back in our colonial days. The locomotive pulling us today is our 1932 Edison. This was built by Mr. Ford at his Rouge complex for his very best friend, Thomas Edison. It has been rebuilt completely using 1870 Manchester engine parts. As we enter into our reserve, this will give you an idea of what it was like to travel across the United States in the early days of the railroad. Before that time, our major means of transportation were by station, wagon, horseback, or even walking. With the coming of the railroads, the time spent traveling distances was dramatically reduced. Back then, if you were to travel between Detroit and Chicago by stagecoach, it would take on the average of 3 days or more of travel. With the railroads traveling the same distance, it could now be done in hours. What our engineer just did was called a running blowdown. This is standard procedure on all operating steam locomotives. This was the easiest way of eliminating any symptoms that might be forming in the steam lines. We're now coming into Walnut Grove. This is our activities field during the season. Our next big event will be on the second weekend of September, where we host Old Car Festival. From here you can also see the backsides of Cotswell Cottage, Giddings, Webster, and Frost homes. We're now coming up to our Henry Ford Academy. To attend, you must be a resident of Wayne County. It is done on the lottery system, so if your name is drawn, you're allowed to attend grades 9 through 12 for free. 9th grade starts at our academy next to the museum. The main building here is for grades 10 and 11. Now as we slowly go around the turn, you will find 3 railroad cars that have been combined into 3 large classrooms. This is where the seniors finish out their final year. We'll now be going by our Swanee Lagoon. This is only used now for flood control here in the village. Climb the hill towards Smith Creek. If you look to your left, just past the stone building, you will see the Martha Mary Chapel. This was built by Mr. Ford to honor his mother and mother-in-law. Throughout the season, we host a lot of weddings in the chapel. Next to it is our Taste of History, which during the day serves a wide variety of food, cafeteria style. However, they are closing now for the evening. Now as you come into Smith Creek, this can be your exit point to go 2 blocks over to Main Street in a carousel. Down the hill you can go to the Model Ts or Ford Motor Company and Wright Cycle Shop. Down Junction you can go into our Roundhouse or to Liberty Craft Works to watch our artisans creating glass, pottery, printing, weaving, and carding of wool to be made into thread. Now as we come into Smith Creek, we can say hi to Jeff, Gordon, and conductress Mary Ann, who will be taking over for the last full turn of the day. Please remain seated until you hear the whistle. It will then be safe to exit on the left-hand side. Please wait for that whistle.